right at the start. Hey everybody, Tom Britt coming to you from ground zero of the Nickel Plate Trail right here in downtown Fishers. As you can see over my shoulder or past my torso that they are actively building a tunnel under 116. So I got Jason Taylor, the Director of Engineering for the City of Fishers, and of course the Mayor, Scott Fadness. Guys, thanks for coming out, taking a little time to get everybody up to speed on what's happening. So this might be a good question for Jason. What exactly is going on behind us now? Give us the skinny.
Yeah, so we started June 1st. We started doing basically we closed the roadway of 116th Street and just started the removal of all the roadway and the railroad tracks and starting the excavation. Today they're actually pouring the eastern footer for the tunnel structure to be placed. And they're over excavating so that they can, when they put the tunnel in, they can put some structural backfill in and then start building the roadway up.
And so there is a pathway to the south, right, Mayor? I mean, I'm looking at a path that goes, I don't know how far it goes, 106th Street or so?
Just down from the Porta-John that you see.
Yeah, the Porta-John, yeah. So from the Porta-John south, and then north of here, we've also got downtown that goes all the way to, what, 130?
It's basically, if you think about it, South Street to 106th Street and North Street to 131st Street is basically what has been done to date. And then and then we're going to try to connect those two stretches with what you see here. And then ultimately, we still need to get down to 96th Street. We need to get up to 146th Street.
So how much of it total has been done, Jason?
Approximately 2.5 miles.
2.5 miles of trail so far?
Yes.
This last piece is the most expensive piece, the most grueling, right?
It's the most critical piece, right?
Yeah,
that's where the fun's really going to happen.
I mean, it's so complicated from a public works standpoint. There's probably 7 or 8 utilities that have critical infrastructure that go right through here that Jason had to work through. You have buildings that are right on the boundary of where we're digging, and then you have a road that has 35,000 people on a normal day driving across it. So this is a complicated public works project.
So 116th Street got shut down a week or so ago. It's going to open 60 days is kind of the window of time. I mean, from a guy that's working in engineering, are they on track? Is this thing on track or not?
As of right now, we are on schedule. What you may have seen is that they were actually working through the rain that we've been having. Even the monsoon there, we had, they have not let off the gas whatsoever, and they were trying to complete early. There's some unforeseens we may run into.
So when this first phase is done, when 116th reopens, the tunnel's not going to be done, right?
Correct. The trail won't be done. The tunnel will be completed, but we won't open up between South Street and North Street until spring of next year because we have the northern half of the trail to complete of 116th Street.
Which is the approach, which is what you guys call this like gentle ramp down the road, right? So everybody remember that. When this thing opens in 60 days, just because 116th is open does not mean you come down here and start riding your bike under the tunnel. It's still going to be under construction for, what's the deadline on the next phase? Next spring, is that?
Spring is when we're going to open it up.
Okay.
Yep. And we're actually going to start that construction in August, but with the coordination of the development and some of the work they have to do, just out of safety concern, we don't want to open it up until they have their work complete and ours.
So Scott, of all the projects, you've been mayor now for seems like forever, but let's just say 8 or 10 years. Of all the projects you've been involved in, especially downtown, is this kind of like putting the belt on all of it? I mean, this is kind of the culminating.
Yeah, well, I mean,
project.
Look, if you think about it in terms of how much controversy we went through with tearing up the railroad track, the lawsuits, the public conversation, now being able to build this, but not only just build the tunnel, but this is really kind of world-class infrastructure, and then the skyline that's being built around it. I think when it's done, it really will be kind of a marquee place for people to come and engage with their community.
So the businesses are still open. So everybody remember, the businesses are all still open.
Yes.
Burn Boot Camp is still open right over our shoulder.
Handles Ice Cream.
Handles Ice Cream. Yeah, so people I think see the signs at like Lantern Road or Municipal Drive and they think they can't go any further, but it is still open to the local traffic, right?
Correct, yeah, I mean, we don't want, for local traffic, absolutely. The only thing that I would tell people is that anything you're doing down here, just know there's a lot of people walking around. I mean, what I love about downtown now is it's very pedestrian friendly. There's a lot of people out and about, so if you're peeling off 116th Street, going different directions and trying to get to businesses, just be mindful of the fact there's a lot of people walking around.
Yeah, like me and Josh.
Yeah, we don't want to hit camera.
I don't want to get hit by a car, and it's come close a few times, I have to admit. So there's been some maps, I guess, put up to help people navigate the traffic. I understand it's like 8 different parking areas you've set up.
Yep.
So tell me about where can people find those maps?
Those are on our Nickel Plate Trail website that we work with Public Works or Public Relations to be able to create and post. And we also have given those maps to the businesses to be able to provide to their customers to ensure that everyone who goes there can revisit.
Right. So let's do a big project downtown, okay? And let's tear up all the infrastructure we possibly can. Let's close 116th Street, and then let's put on Spark Fishers.
Yep.
Whose idea was that again?
Yeah.
So let's talk about Spark. Spark's coming up June 22nd through June the 26th. It's going to be 5 days. The first Spark was 2 years ago. Last year, obviously, you didn't have Spark because of COVID. But what was part of the decision of stretching over 5 days versus trying to do it on a 2-day weekend?
Well, I think it's just to evolve and allow people to have different bites at the apple. You know, it's nice. One thing that happens, like today, it's 90 degrees outside. It's hot and it's humid. And some of those events that we were trying to cram into that 2-day period, you're doing it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when it's 105 degrees on the asphalt. You know, could you do that in the evening and allow for more people to have an opportunity to be a part of it? These events, we constantly try to evolve and adapt and try to meet the needs of our residents. We're going to evolve again this year, see how it goes, and if we need to adapt again, we will. But I think this kind of unique lineup, unique calendar of events is something we want to try and see if people like it.
You got the 5K on Wednesday night. You've got, it's in the evening this year, so it'll be kind of nice if people run in the evening and not have to work in the heat of the day. Spin Doctors Friday night, coming to town, big concerts. The parade Saturday night, the fireworks on Saturday night.
Yep.
You're kind of bringing it all back, maybe stretch it over a few more days, but trying to make it more, I guess, heat friendly.
Heat friendly, and just look. I mean, our community's doing really well with vaccinations. Our economy's roaring. It's time for people to get out of their houses, come be a part of the community again. It's safe. We can have a great week of events, and I hope to see everybody out. City Hall, that whole area looks amazing. As long as and we've got a good plan to get everybody in and out of there safely. So come out and be a part of it.
So speaking of vaccinations, I'm glad you brought it up. Fishers has the highest vaccination rate in the state.
Yeah.
Was it 85% or so?
Anyone over the age of 60, we're 85% or more vaccinated, yeah.
So pretty much anybody that wants a vaccine over 60's got it at this point.
For the most part.
Or maybe they already had COVID, they don't want to get the vaccine again. So did that have any bearing on planning for like Spark and farmers markets and all the other events?
Well, I mean, I think it provides a sense of confidence, right? Like what we were doing in the spring is we told our health department we want to really do well at vaccinations. And oh, by the way, Parks Department assumed that they're going to do their job, which means this summer we want this community opened up. We want people out having fun, and so that's what you're seeing right now. The health department knocked it out of the park. They did a great job, and now our Parks Department, they're turning on, and we're doing farmers. We had 6,000 people at our farmers market the other day.
Yeah.
Summer concerts have been going well. We're going to start our Friday night concert series up. Spark Fishers. I mean, it's just all of that. I mean, we want everyone to have just a banner summer to kind of heal from what we've all gone through over this last year.
Is it kind of back to business as usual?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, our community is wide open for business. There's no restrictions. Get vaccinated. I mean, that really is the key. Like, go get vaccinated and tell your friends to get vaccinated. So we just keep moving going forward.
Right. If you don't get vaccinated, you're probably going to get it. Get your own self-vaccine. So might as well bite the bullet and get it ahead of time.
Right.
All right, last question, I promise. We'll let you guys get back to air conditioning, especially these directors of engineering. Get a little hot in these hard hats these days. What's going to happen to the Nickel Plate Bar? What's going to happen to that building?
Well, that's yet to be determined. So we toured it the other day. It's in pretty bad shape. We constructed this in a way that made sure that it didn't damage the building.
Yeah.
But that building has a lot of problems. So we're working with the developers right now to figure out what the best path forward is.
Okay. Well, just a note to everybody, especially the businesses downtown Fishers, please try to come down and frequent them. If you're going to come to Spark, go to a concert on Friday or Saturday night concert, come early. They're still open. They're still serving dinner and breakfast and having drinks at Luvino's. So to go back to life as you knew it, you may have to park somewhere different. Should mitigate some of the pain, but it's all going to be worth it, guys. And next spring when this thing all fully opens up,
gonna be awesome.
There's gonna be so much business and so much traffic down here. They're gonna wish they could hold their rent rates at 2020 rates. All right, so Jason, Mayor Fadness, thank you guys so much. You guys stay up with all the information. Just go to fishers.in.us. Also, playfishers.com, which is the Parks Department website, has a lot of information and resources about this project. So stay in the know and get out there and use these trails. You'll be out there, won't you?
Already am.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, guys.